I have remained where you established me. I still abide, and all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son so like his cause, that cause and its effect, that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. Let me know that I am an effect of God. Let me know that I am an effect of God. And so I have the power to create like you. Let me know that I am an effect of God. And so I have the power to create like you. And as it is in heaven, so on earth, your plan I follow here. And in the end, I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish, and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. I am forever an effect of God. I am forever an effect of God. Let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed and then forgiven, fade entirely into God's holy will. I am forever an effect of God. I am forever an effect of God. I am forever an effect of God. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today back here on my home place. I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks, here for lesson 326 of A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version, and you can follow along in the manual for teachers, or not manual for in the in the workbook for students. But when it gets to the reading today, at the end of the manual for teachers in the Foundation for Inner Peace version, there's the clarification of terms. So you won't have that in the original edition. So sit back and enjoy. You can follow it along if you'd like to read it. If you don't have a Foundation for Inner Peace version, you go to acim.org and read along, or you anyway, I guess there's no or. That's where you can go. I was going to say you could go to jcim.net, but that's for the original edition. Okay, and let's look at. So today is I am forever an effect of God. And before we read it, let me just make mention that my mother-in-law, Trudy Graham, joined her husband in the hereafter yesterday afternoon. And now this is for lesson 326 for Saturday, November the 22nd of 2025, but I'm recording it a few days earlier. So today's Wednesday for me. Yesterday was Tuesday when Trudy Graham and her husband Don Graham. They death couldn't hold them apart. They left within about 76 hours of each other. They were 94 for Don and 91 for Trudy, and looked like they just wanted to be together. Anyway, nice transition. I am forever an effect of God. And I'm, like I think, did I say I'm Forgiveness Willie? Thank you for joining me. Let's read it again. We've sang through it, but let's read through it now. I am forever an effect of God. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. I am forever your effect, and you forever and forever are my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. And all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son so like his cause, that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. He wants you to be just like him, God does. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you. And as it is in heaven, so on earth. Your plan I follow here, and at the end I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. I am forever an effect of God. Let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed and then forgiven, fade entirely into God's holy will. I am forever an effect of God. Okay, let's go take a look in our associated reading with today's lesson. Back a few pages. What is creation? Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Only love creates, and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there. There was no time when all that it created was not there. Set that on my camera, my hat, so that I'd be in the shade a little better. There was no time when all that it created was not there. Nor will there be a time when anything that it created suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own Creator has, for He would add to love by its extension. Thus His Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. What God has willed to be forever one will still be one when time is over, and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before the thought of time began. Creation is the opposite of all illusions, for creation is the truth. Creation is the Holy Son of God, for in creation is His will complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its oneness is forever guaranteed inviolate, forever held within His holy will, beyond all possibility of harm, of separation, imperfection, and of any spot upon its sinlessness. We are creation, we the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with Him. Okay, let's stop for just a minute there with the word discreet. You know, there's actually two words that are pronounced the same way. Discreet, one spelled the way we're using it here, D-I-S-C-R-E-T-E, discreet, and which means individually separate and distinct. So we seem to be individually separate and distinct, and unaware of our eternal unity with God. The other word discreet, spelled D-I-S-C-R-E-E-T, which is, don't confuse the two words. It means careful and tactful to avoid attention. To be careful and tactful in order to avoid attention. So that's not the discrete we're using. We're using the word that means individually separate and distinct. Discrete. We are creation, we the sons of God. We seem to be individually separate and distinct, discrete, and unaware of our eternal unity with Him. Yet back of all our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty, for love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only be restored to sanity, and to be but as God created us. Our Father calls to us, and we hear His voice, and we forgive creation in the name of its Creator, holiness itself, whose holiness His own creation shares, whose holiness is still a part of us. So we're part of the holiness of God. Boy, that's certainly what our lesson's about today. I am forever an effect of God. I love this in here in the lesson where he says, Father, let's just read it again. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. I am forever your effect, and you, forever and forever, are my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. And all your attributes abide in me, because it is your will to have a son so like his cause that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you. Wow. We can create beauty and love and goodness because we are an effect of God, and He wants the effect to be like the cause, and He's the cause. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you, and as it is in heaven, so on earth. Your plan I follow here, and at the end I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. I can't help but think of my mother and father-in-law, Don and Trudy, when it says, your plan I follow here, and at the end I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. Wow, I think that, when we cross over, Trudy and Dawn are realizing that, wow, I'm part of I'm home. I'm where I belong. I remember again that I'm one with all. Let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed and then forgiven, fade entirely into God's holy will. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, well, let's go look in our clarification of terms reading, and let's read the introduction today. This is not a course in philosophical speculation, nor is it concerned with precise terminology. It is concerned only with atonement or at-one-ment, and he's going to define what atonement is, the correction of perception. That's what atonement is, the correction of perception. To realize that we're an effect of God, and that we have been created in the image of God, and now our job is to extend what God extended in making us. Now we extend in making heaven come to earth. The means of the atonement is what? Forgiveness. Oh, there's old Angel, one of my. Oh, you got two cats up here today. The means of atonement is forgiveness. The structure of individual consciousness is essentially irrelevant because it is a concept representing the original error, or what's known as the original sin. To study the error itself does not lead to correction, if you are indeed to succeed in overlooking the error. And it is just this process of overlooking at which the Course aims. It's wanting us to overlook our insane ideas that we can be separate from God, or separate from love, separate from joy, and realize that those are just misperceptions. They're errors in perception, and that we need correction from, atonement. Paragraph 2. No, I'm not finished. Let's continue with paragraph 1. To study the error itself does not lead to correction, if you are indeed to succeed in overlooking the error. And it is just this process of overlooking at which the Course aims. I guess we did read all of paragraph 1. Paragraph 2. All terms are potentially controversial. All terms are potentially controversial. And those who seek controversy will find it. Yet those who seek clarification will find it as well. Which are you looking for? Clarification or controversy? Because he says you'll find what you're looking for. They must, however, be willing to overlook controversy, recognizing that it is a defense against the truth in the form of a delaying maneuver. When you're having controversies and you're just arguing about words and philosophical speculations, you're basically just slowing down your progress of awakening and having true atonement. Having the correct, learn to think like God thinks, with love only, no judgment ever. They must, however, be willing to overlook controversy, recognizing that it is a defense against truth in the form of a delaying maneuver. Theological considerations as such are necessarily controversial, since they depend on belief and can therefore be accepted or rejected. A universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible, but necessary. What is that experience? That experience of right-mindedness, of sanity, of realizing that you are an effect of God and that you are created in God's image and can therefore extend love like God extended in making you. That's the universal experience, the experience of love incarnate, of love now. So he says, let's read it again. A universal theology is impossible, but a universal experience is not only possible, but necessary. It is this experience toward which the Course is directed. Here alone consistency becomes possible, because here alone uncertainty ends. Paragraph 3. This Course remains within the ego framework, where it is needed. It is not concerned with what is beyond all error, because it is planned only to set the direction toward it. Again on this Course remains within the ego framework, where it is needed. It is not concerned with what is beyond all error, because it is planned only to set the direction towards it. Therefore it uses words which are symbolic and cannot express what lies beyond symbols. It is merely the ego that questions, because it is only the ego that doubts. The Course merely gives another answer once a question has been raised. However, this answer does not attempt to resort to inventiveness or ingenuity. These are attributes of the ego. Inventiveness and ingenuity are in the realm of the ego. But we want to learn to let go of the ego and reunite with our true identity, that part that God created us being an effect of the eternal cause, love, God. The Course merely gives another answer once a question has been raised. However, this answer does not attempt to resort to inventiveness or ingenuity. These are attributes of the ego. The Course is simple. It has one function and one goal. Only in that does it remain wholly consistent, because only that can be consistent. Paragraph 4. The ego will demand many answers that this Course does not give. It does not recognize as questions the mere form of a question to which an answer is impossible. The ego may ask, how did the impossible occur? To what did the impossible happen? And may ask this in many forms. Yet there is no answer, only an experience. Seek only this, and do not let theology delay you. So much time we get wrapped up in all of the theological controversies, thinking that it's important to understand them. Look what he says. Let's read it again, paragraph 4. The ego will demand many answers that this Course does not give. It does not recognize as questions the mere form of a question to which an answer is impossible. The ego may ask, how did the impossible occur? In other words, it's impossible to be separate from God, and yet you believe that you're separate from God. That's why the Course calls our journey the journey without distance, because when we arrive, it's like the red carpet that we've been walking on rolls up behind us and it's no more. We realize, wow, we've already been here. We're already here. When we return to our place in heaven, which you don't have to die to get there, by the way, even though many people do get there that way. When you finally reach that place where you're one with God and realize that you are one with God, you realize that it's always been that way. You could have never separated yourself from God's love. The ego will demand many answers that this Course does not give. It does not recognize as questions the mere form of a question to which an answer is impossible. The ego may ask, how did the impossible occur? To what did the impossible happen? And may ask this in many forms, yet there is no answer, only an experience. Seek only this, seek only the experience, and do not let theology delay you. Have the experience of joy, the experience of peace, the experience of feeling God's love and giving God's love. And the last paragraph to finish this section. You will notice that the emphasis on structural issues in the Course is brief and early. Afterwards and soon it drops away to make way for the central teaching. Since you have asked for clarification, however, these are some of the terms that are used. And the first one we'll use is mind, spirit. And I might mention that this is a great place to invite some of your friends that you'd like to go through the Course with you next year. Invite them to listen to some of these clarifications of terms, so they'll kind of have a head start when we get ready to study in the Course. They'll kind of know what is being how the wording that's used in A Course in Miracles is being used. There's lots of different ways that you can define these words, but the one we're going to look at first tomorrow will be mind, spirit, and then number 2 will be the ego and the miracle, and then forgiveness, the face of Christ, true perception, knowledge, 5, Jesus Christ, 6, the Holy Spirit, and then there'll be the epilogue to the clarifications of terms. And then we've got 2 different supplements we're going to go ahead and read through this year. One will be psychotherapy, purpose, process, and practice. and the Song of Prayer, Prayer, Forgiveness, and Healing. You won't find those in the original edition printing, but you will find them on the Foundation for Inner Peace version. Okay, so keep in mind today, and be sure to do your longer practice period where you sit silently and allow God to teach you. I am forever an effect of God. Do that in the morning for a few minutes, and again in the evening, and then throughout the day keep the idea alive. And don't have to just sit there saying I am forever an effect of God. Say it and then try to let your thoughts be still and see what God has for you. Kind of be in a listening mode, but quiet. Let your thoughts be still, and see what you can learn, what you can remember, what you can awaken to that's already real, that you just forgot. Sometimes in this world it's easy to forget, huh? Forget that you are loved and that you're invulnerable, and that God is with you and always is a present help in time of need. Okay, I am forever an effect of God. So try to remember that throughout the day, every hour of the day. Bring it to your attention and have a moment to pause, make sure you're tuned in with God and give thanks. Anyway, do that every hour of the day. And more often, just throughout the day. Let it be something that you depend on. Checking in to make sure you're at peace, that you're filled with joy, that you're trusting God, that you have a thankful heart. Okay, holidays and observances. I found all these. I didn't find any major religious holidays today, but I did find out of holidays and observances. It's Family Volunteer Day, Go for a Ride Day. If you're a motorcycle, boy, today's, you notice I'm not even wearing a jacket. It's nice out. Go for a Ride Day, bicycle or motorcycle, would be a nice day, or take a walk. Humane Society Anniversary Day, Adoption Day, International Oar Awareness Day. If you're one of those people that can see oars, today's your day, huh? International Survivors of Suicide Day, Cranberry Relish Day. Cranberries are the Vaccinium genera. Macrocarpon is the species. And I also found that, and maybe this is another name for Vaccinium. Vaccinium is your blueberry, but there's viburnum also. Opulus variegant is Americana. And then I also found it's a Viburnum trilobum. Anyway, I just, several varieties of cranberry. Stop the Violence Day. Well, that'd be good. Just practice forgiveness and you'll be stopping the violence. Remember, you don't have to actually hit someone. Just thinking about hitting them is an attack. And we want to stop the violence in here before it ever even gets close to going out. So, and of course, when we see other people acting violent, we can stop the insane thought that we're holding that they're acting violent by recognizing it not as an act of aggression, but as an appeal for help. They're begging for help. They just don't know it. They may be unconscious that that's what they're asking for. And Start Your Own Country Day. I thought that was an interesting idea. I found on WikiHow, go look it up, how to start your own country. I think that really inspires me. Just a lot of, the whole idea that start your own country. Anyway, I think that deserves some consideration. Okay, out of Seed Savers Exchange, we've got the Jernigan Yellow Cabbage Collard. A cabbage collard. I might mention that cabbage and collard are both Brassica genera, and their species are Oleracea. So here's a cabbage collard. It's called the Jernigan Yellow Cabbage out of Seed Savers Exchange. This family sweet, buttery tasting heirloom collard produces modest heads and light green to yellow green edible leaves that are elliptical, lobed, and slightly dangling. Plants measure 17 to 23 inches tall and 32 to 43 inches wide. This variety hails from Snow Hill, North Carolina, where Nancy and James Jernigan grew it throughout their married life after receiving it from James's father. The Jernigan yellow cabbage. I wonder if they made a mistake. I wonder if it's truly a cabbage collard or if it's a mistake in their type. Anyway, it says it's a cabbage collard, but I don't know. Okay, thank you for joining me. Let's close with our song. I am forever an effect of God. I've got a couple turkeys. You can't see them. They're right behind the camera, strutting around. I got two toms that like to, wherever they hear me playing my guitar or sitting, they tend to join me. So does my dog and the cats. And I hear it. Now there may be a duck or chicken. They kind of show up a lot of times too. I am forever an effect of God. I am forever an effect of God. I am forever an effect of God. Father, I was created in your mind, a holy thought that never left its home. I am forever your effect, and you are forever and forever. You are forever and forever my cause. As you created me, I have remained. Where you established me, I still abide. And all your attributes abide in me. Because it is your will to have a son so like his cause, that cause and its effect are indistinguishable. Let me know that I am an effect of God, and so I have the power to create like you. And so as it is in heaven, so on earth, your plan I follow here, and at the end I know that you will gather your effects into the tranquil heaven of your love, where earth will vanish and all separate thoughts unite in glory as the Son of God. Let us today behold earth disappear, at first transformed and then forgiven, fade entirely into God's holy will. I am forever an effect of God. I am forever an effect of God. And you know, I think that I've gone way over today, and I'm so sorry. I try to keep these under 30 minutes. I am forever an effect of God. Our word for peace is from the Nyanosum. Is it the Ganassan people of Taymyr Peninsula on the Russian Arctic region, and the word is for peace is Cutu. Cutu be with you. I am forever an effect of God. Cutu.